How's it going, guys? Coffee here. Today I wanted to go over the updates for the Iris build. Basically, we're still pushing our way towards Profound, and we are pretty much at the point where we're starting to have to purchase upgrades that are going to cost us like a few thousand FE each. I mean, I guess we could upgrade our weapons probably first to like a cane and rod setup. That's going to be the best, but I'm going to lean towards picking up miniature void seas here, and then picking up a troublemaker helmet as well next. And then after that, then I'm actually going to go to replacing the weapons, and then probably the rings or something at some point at that, or afterwards at that point, and then the same with the chest. So first things first, let's go over miniature void seas. These are about 2k FE, but you can see here the amount of damage that you get out of them is actually you are getting a it says you get a 15% additional minion damage for every minion you have, so, or 14% rather, whatever, if you have a low roll like mine. What that means is you get 7 minions, so you can get up to 7 stacks of it, which for that is going to be 98% additional damage, which is very good. And then you have your triggers your main skill for every amount of movement you have, whatever. This does nerf my restoration rate on life source, but it's kind of whatever. Realistically, I should probably fully swap over to ES here, which I will at some point. So this will very quickly turn into a defensive recovery skill instead, to where I'll just end up running 4-star or something instead of the life one on there right now. A few little things in order to actually fit miniature void seas. What I ended up doing in order to fit these in here, I just ended up cutting the blurry steps finally for now. For mapping, when I'm still just doing T8 stuff, I just take off the spider tanks and I put blurry steps back on. That's kind of whatever. What I've done defensively for the build as well to make this fit is I did just take the elemental res again back on Steel Vanguard that I had taken off for a bit. And then I ended up, I picked up a few different slates here. One of the big ones here, I have this, like, again, restoring missing life when taking severe injury. And then I ended up picking up this Fallen Starlight earlier that has blur on it per stacks of 5 wilt inflicted. So what I'm doing in order to get the wilt is I actually just have this on my Haunting Abomination here. So Haunting Abomination, I have it with improved corrosion and added erosion in order to get the wilt chance, as well as the base wilt damage. If you get another source of base wilt damage, you don't need to use this. You can just drop something else. Then I am running this with Grudge for Paralyze, and then this Haunting Abomination feud as well for the additional damage taken by enemies that are selected by the skill. So what this is doing is, again, this is big additional damage for just the targeted enemy that was. And then this basically scales up if you kill ads while it selects the rare around it. So this does actually always try to target the highest or rarest enemy, or Haunting A-Bomb does. So it's pretty good about its targeting, which is fine. So yeah, the other things here again is if you're going to use this, you are using this specifically for this support here, and then Grudge. And then we're also using this to trigger our Electrocute curse on hitting or on inflicting damage. So this is kind of what we're doing in order to get this and in order to push this. So you can kind of see here the damage itself, it starts to it's starting to kind of spike itself up quite a bit. I'm still not running this in like the absolute biggest or maximum DPS mode that I possibly can. There's a lot of stuff that I can swap the pets. Like, I'm still running a defensive pet here. If I swap this to offensive, if I swap my ring, then the damage gets even higher, right? So when I do swap this, what I've been doing is for anything that's like fighting wise is I will start my pets using the wind breath convergence, or start my channel a little bit in order to get them up to their ultimate form, and then I will swap on the horn ring in order to just start pumping out even more damage afterwards. Whether or not you want to go that route, that's completely up to you. It's kind of like weird min-maxy stuff that you're kind of doing, where you're like swapping this back and forth. As you can see, my res is a little bit scuffed when I take off the defensive pet and I'm not running this ring, so it is what it is. But this is kind of what I've been doing. We're working ourselves toward profound. I'm going to buy a troublemaker helmet, but I'm going to not buy it until the morning, because it should be cheaper then. It's been dropping basically like 300 FE every time during the hours that Chinese players are playing. Like even just less than an hour ago, it was 2000 FE, and it's dropped down to 1900, and by the time I wake up in the morning, it should be around 1700, and I'll just buy mine then. So that's something you can kind of do. But yeah, pretty much plays the same. This is one of those things where if you're trying to maximize the miniature Void Sea, you do need to have Rally on your belt in order to get this last +1 synthetic troop minion. And then you need to basically, you can put that one, get that extra last one afterwards from Maniacal Army as a support. You do want to put blinding on here. This is nice. Just an extra 20% avoidance that you can get by having them blinding the target. And then on Haunting Abomination, you can use Grudge. I tried putting Grudge on the minion, and it just wasn't triggering. So I'm not sure why Grudge wasn't working on the pet or on the minion. Oh, never mind. I see why. Because it supports spell skills. I'm a dummy. It's okay. Yeah. We're working on it. I want to get her to profound before we start working towards another build. So I'm going to continue to push her for you guys. Hopefully we can get her over that easy like 100 billion DPS. So it's like really comfortable profound. And then you guys will just know to kind of get the T0s from there and push her to the stratosphere. So yeah, if you have any questions, I guess let's go ahead and I can showcase kind of a map of what this looks like now. It doesn't really look any different, especially since I'm still running blurry steps and I'm still running with this other guy just because I like going fast. So I run this with a survival pet here that gives me extra movement speed. That's pretty much what I still do. I don't really care for the other stuff here where it's where you're getting not enough movement speed. I want to go fast. I always just want to go fast. That is the only goal I have, is to go fast. Oh, 100% chance to drop beacons. Oh, and they have a chance to drop beacons. Whatever, sure. Well, this map is worse than this one. Let's see. Yep, I've been running this Dark Surge Sandlord thing for a bit. I think I covered this already in a video earlier. Dark Surge has been doing okay for me. I've been enjoying it. I am at that point, I think, with League Mechanic where everyone else is, where it basically feels like you kind of run it, and if you don't get your pet to proc, or you don't get a bounty, it's kind of just worth skipping. I have pushed my Sandlord up to the level where it is I'm getting like profound level raids and stuff, so, and I can drop up to level 9 of the actual mats now. Whether or not I actually see those, we'll see, but I am capable of doing so. So we'll see if that actually ever occurs, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at with it. So, oh yeah, we didn't proc, so we just keep going here. Loot. This proxy shield is annoying, dude. What the heck? How did that not even proc that dude? Wild. Some of these layouts are just quite sketch. I feel bad about losing any amount of movement speed. It's kind of crazy. Like, I know my build moves kind of fast. I guess these are definitely worth taking. These look good. Money. Beacons are like still like popping off like crazy, like price wise. So it's kind of crazy still. They're like 4 FEA each still pretty much consistently for almost every zone. So if you do want to go farm beacons, it's still pretty good. I know the boss rushing strat still works pretty well for that. You just gotta kind of be willing to ignore some league mechanics, and I don't really want to do that. So yeah, have any questions, leave them in the comments down below or come catch me on stream and I'll be happy to answer them. And other than that, see you in the next one.